Evicting a tenant can seem like a complicated process, but in this video, we'll quickly explain eviction laws in Ohio and how to recover your property in 5 simple steps. First, what is an eviction? Eviction is the process of legally removing a tenant. It's illegal for a landlord to change locks or physically remove a tenant themselves. So if the renter refuses to leave after violating their lease, you must seek an eviction from the court. The process for simply terminating a lease differs from that of an eviction. Lease terminations require proper notice from the landlord or tenant, and state requirements can be found on our website. Legal reasons for eviction in Ohio. A landlord only has grounds to evict a tenant for reasons allowable in the state. The first step in the eviction process is to give the lessee a notice to quit. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant is late on rent, you can serve them a 3-day notice to pay or quit. This gives them 3 days to pay rent in full along with any penalties, or vacate the property.
If the tenant materially violates the lease, a non-compliance notice gives them 3 days to either abide by the lease or vacate the property.
Health and safety violations. If a tenant affects the health and safety of themselves or other tenants on the premises, you may issue a 30-day notice to quit, which requires them to correct the problem or vacate. Rent grace period. In Ohio, there is no rent grace period. Rent is due on the due date. An eviction notice can be served if rent is only 1 day late. 5 steps to legally evicting a tenant in Ohio. Serve the notice to quit. Choose the form you need and download or fill it out on eForms.com. Post it on the tenant's door and also send it via certified mail with a return receipt requested via USPS. If the breach is curable, you must wait for the specified number of days to give the tenant a chance to fix the problem. File eviction papers with the court. If the tenant hasn't mitigated the issue and remains on the property, you can proceed to court. File a complaint in the local district court in the area in which the property is located. Some courts in Ohio have distinct complaint forms, so it's best to obtain the complaint form from the court you file with. Once you file, the court will issue a summons, which will detail a hearing date and time. Documents are sent to the tenant. After filing, the court will send the summons and complaint to the tenant. Once received, the tenant will have 7 days to file an answer. Attend the hearing. The judge will reach a ruling at the hearing. If the tenant does not show up or if the judge rules in your favor, the court will issue a writ of restitution, which orders the tenant to vacate. Removing the tenant. If the tenant is ordered to leave and they remain on the property, you may be able to request help from the sheriff to remove the tenant from the property. Damages. Often the tenant's security deposit does not cover total losses. If damages are not awarded at the hearing, you may be able to recover past due rent and court fees through small claims court. Now you can get eviction proceedings started. Get eviction forms, court documents, and all other information you'll need at the link below for free.